All right, future architects, we have got an awesome project that we're going to be working on. It's a little bit of a longer video, so hold up. But if you need to take a break and get up and stretch, then go for it. Today, we are going to be making a FuzzFeed style quiz. You know what you're talking about? I don't know if I can legally say it, so we're going to call it FuzzFeed. So with this, you should already have completed a quiz document, something that looks like this, where you have your questions, you have your answers, and you've assigned a value to each of these answers. So essentially how this program works is that I created a quiz to find out what type of bender you are from the popular series Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then if you answer more questions with air answers that have a 1, we're going to run a math program to find the mode of all of our answers. If you remember, mode means the most commonly occurring number. So if there are more 1s than any other number, then you're going to become an airbender. If there are more 2s, then you'll be a firebender. If there are more 3s, you'll be an earthbender. If there are more 4s, you'll be a waterbender. So we're going to see how this program works. So you should already have something like this, and we're going to be using that a little bit later. So I'm just going to drag it down over here for right now. So now we need to start with something that we haven't actually done yet, and that's totally okay. I'm going to explain it briefly, but we're going to spend some more time on it next week. So how this works is we are going to create a list. A list works very similar to a variable, but it holds in a bunch of different data. That data could be strings, integers, floats, anything at all, but it can be a mix of any of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to just be one of them. All right, so we're going to call this list right here answers. So answers, and that's going to be equal to some square brackets, because right now there is nothing in our list. It's an empty list, so we just have this square bracket. All right, that was it to get started. Now we are going to be writing some questions. So the questions are very simple, and it really is, it's not hard. It's not hard. So we're gonna answer or ask these questions as inputs like we have in the past. So I'm gonna call this input answer 1, because that's what it is. It'll be the answer to question 1 is equal to whatever the user calls input, and then we need to put our question. So I'll drag up my doc over here so we can see what the questions are. And I'm going to call this question 1, and then put a little colon here. And then it's dessert time. And you've whipped up. Notice how I wrote these like I was writing a FuzzFeed quiz. Whipped up your favorite treat. What have you made? All right, so now we want our questions to be on separate lines than all of our answers that they can choose from. Remember, this is multiple choice. So what we are going to do in this scenario is that we're going to use that command \n, a lowercase n, and now we have a new line, and I'm going to put A is equal to fruit pie, and then I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do /n. B is equal to fire flakes, then \n, and we've got C is equal to custard or egg, custard tart. All right, so now with this, oh, we need one more. We're gonna go space, and D is equal to cow cookies. Now we can close up this, and we've got our first input. So now with this input, I'm going to close the brackets over here. With this first input, we are going to use some of those if statements that we have in the past. So we are going to say if answer 1 is equal to the string A, because remember when we enter these, we're entering strings. We are going to change something about our list. So we are going to say answers, that's the name of our list, dot append. So we're going to append our list. We're going to change something about it. And then we should just say append parentheses 1, because that's the value that we assign this. So if answer A, we're going to append that list for A. So now I'm going to change this to an elif statement. Answer 1 is equal to, we'll say B. Then we are going to answers dot append, and that is going to be a value of 2. And we can continue doing this, and this is going to allow us to change our list depending on what answer our users give us. So depending on A, B, C, or D, they're going to give us a different number into our list, and then we can find the mode of that. So I'm just going to type out the rest of this. And then we're going to print it so that I can show you what we're looking at. And notice I'm not going to use an else at the end of it. I am just going to say answer 1 and just keep it as an elif, because it is just a completely different statement. If they're answering anything besides a capital A, B, C, or D, they're not going to get an answer with that. That goes a little beyond here, so we're okay with this. So now if answers dot append, I'll say 4. All right, cool. So now I'm going to do a check right here where I am going to print that list. So I can just say print answers. And now we should see after this input that someone is going to enter a value, and then we should get our list and we can start to see what's in our list. So if I run module, it's going to ask me to save it. Okay. I'm going to place this in my computer science program and call this my quiz. All right. Oop. Invalid syntax. Oh, double equals. If it is this, so if it is equals, now we can run. And I will always forget my colons. Here we go. All right. So now we've got this right here, and they're asking for an answer. So I'll put an A, and now it prints my list. So right now I have 1 in my list, which is good. So I do want to change this just slightly, so then I can add 1 more line into this, so I have a better place to put my answer than on that line where we see over here where it's the cal cookies. I want to always point at my screen. I can't do that. So I'm going to add in 1 more right here where I'm going to do a /n and then answer and do a colon. And I think that will look a little better for us typing in our answers. Yeah, let's try running that. So run module. We'll save it. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little better. And now we've got a 2 that's popping out from our list. All right. So now let's go back, and we can do this and answer in all of our different questions. I'm not going to have you watch me answer or enter in all these questions, but I'm going to show you our second one. And with that, I am just going to take all of this. I'm going to go edit. I'm going to copy. And then I am going to go down here and do edit, paste. So now all I need to do with my second one is I'm going to change this to answer 2. Then we've got if answer 1. So we want to go back down here, because if we are just keeping that as answer 1, we'll still get the same values. So now, in order to make this random, we need to change the values that are associated here, which also means that our answers should be different. So in question 2, I have some different values associated with this. So you can see down at the bottom here that in question 2, you're getting ready to fight Ko, the face dealer. What weapon do you use? A sledgehammer is associated with 3. A fan is associated with 4 or 1. Harpoon is 4, and sword is 2. So I'd go into this question, I would change up this question entirely, and then I change these point values to be 3, to be 1, to be 4, and to be 2. And now I can go and I can print my answers again, and I can see what my list is looking like, making sure that everything is going according to plan. So I will run my module. And right here, we've got our first question, question 1. I'm going to put A. And then if I want to choose a different one, I can't choose B, otherwise I'll get another 1. So I'll choose C. And now I've got 1 and 4 in my list. And this is important because now we're going to go over to a little different of a section. You know what? I'm going to cut it off right here. This is how you write questions for the ATLA quiz or whatever FuzzFeed quiz you decide. Then I'm going to finish up all my questions here, and I'll show you how we determine, let's see, what you print out the end. How do you get your result of whether you're an earthbender or firebender? And we'll go into that in just a minute. But I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to check in with me, and I'd be happy to help you out. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.